Hi, my name is Paul Guttormsson. I'm Senior Vice President and General Counsel of the Wisconsin Credit Union League. I supervise two departments here at the League. On the dues-supported side of the League, I supervise our Legal Affairs Department. And then on the for-profit WCUL Services Corporation side, I supervise our Compliance Specialist team. There are four key services that the Legal Affairs team offers to our Wisconsin member credit unions. First of all, and I think the key benefit for most of our credit unions, is our legal compliance hotline. Credit union staff and volunteers can phone or email anytime with questions. We don't represent credit unions in court, we don't give them legal opinions, but we provide information about how they can comply with state and federal rules. Last year, we answered more than 1,700 questions from credit union staff around the state. Second are our II releases. That stands for Important Information. These are legal summaries that we put together of everything from what to do when an account holder passes away to how to provide compliant mortgage disclosures. We have a library of about 166 II releases. We're updating those constantly to try to keep them up to date. Last year we made 60 updates to those II releases. Third are our compliance couriers. These are articles that we publish periodically as needed to let credit unions know about new compliance developments, to provide in-depth analysis on compliance issues, to answer frequently asked questions, and to provide tips for credit unions on how to stay in compliance. Average in a year is about 100 to 150 compliance couriers. And then finally there are forms. That's technically on the for-profit services corporation side of things. But we maintain a library of about 70 forms, ranging from basic account opening forms to notes with truth in lending disclosures to home equity line of credit forms. We believe that we're the only league in the United States that still offers a library of compliant forms for credit unions to use. Well, the Legal Affairs team works with other departments in a number of key ways, and probably most significantly for our credit unions, we work with our education and training team to provide information to credit union staff. Now, normally during an average year, we do 2 in-person compliance seminars, which we call compliance roundtables, one in spring, one in fall. Because of COVID and doing all of our training remotely, we've gone to monthly webinars that we do. But we also help out with a lot of other events throughout the year, such as our Directors Conference and our convention. Another thing that we do to work with our Government Affairs team is to draft regulatory comment letters. So when state or federal regulators are proposing new rules, we'll send out a comment call to our credit unions asking for their reactions. What do you think of this new rule? And based on what they tell us and our own analysis, we'll draft a comment letter telling regulators we think this is a good idea or we think it's not such a good idea, and here's why. So we've been fairly successful, I think, in getting attention from regulators, in getting rules drafted that are really sort of tailored to help credit unions. And finally, our Legal Affairs team also works with Government Affairs to review state proposed legislation. So anytime a bill is proposed, we'll look at that and see, well, will this impact credit unions? And if so, is this something that our lobbyists should support or oppose? Our Compliance Specialist Department is about 10 years old. We have 8 compliance specialists on staff. 7 of them are full-time. One of them is an attorney, Kim Hoppy, who works part-time in legal affairs and part-time as a compliance specialist. And they work hand in hand with credit unions around the state to provide hands-on compliance help. All of our compliance specialists are experienced and well-trained. They all have their credit union compliance expert certification from CUNA, their BSA compliance expert certification. Many of them are accredited ACH professionals, and they have other designations as well. And then we do periodic training throughout the year to try to keep them up to date on changing compliance topics. The main compliance specialist program that's available is called our partner program. And that involves credit unions contracting with the league to have a compliance specialist work with them month after month through a calendar year. It's basically a staff sharing program. So the compliance specialists will work with a pod of credit unions, generally anywhere from 3 to 7 credit unions. Those credit unions contract with us to have the specialists spend a given percentage of their working days helping that credit union with any compliance-related projects that come up. That can involve all sorts of things. It can involve policy reviews, we can audit loan files, we can do staff training, basically anything that's related to compliance. I think that that's been a very popular program. Our partner program has been very popular with credit unions because it's a tremendous cost saving. By sharing staff with other credit unions, our credit unions are getting more bang for their buck, much more service than they could get at a cheaper price than if they were trying to hire someone full-time on their own to be a compliance officer. We can also help credit unions with occasional special projects through what we call our a la carte services. So we'll contract with a credit union to send someone to do, say, a Bank Secrecy Act annual independent testing or their annual ACH audit. Basically anything that the credit union needs, we can handle. We'll do policy reviews, we'll come in and do a loan file audit, we can come in and do specialized training for the staff. If they don't need help month after month through a given year, we can help with a la carte services. We're also introducing a new service, BSA software validation, that will be available to Verifin users this fall. That involves us looking at software that uses AI to help track suspicious activity that credit unions have to report under the Bank Secrecy Act regulations. Now, all of our services are done remotely. We started doing that during the pandemic, but we're continuing to do that going forward. We charge credit unions for any travel costs that we might incur, but we try to do as much remotely as possible, and we use a secure file sharing portal for credit unions to download the documents that we need to review.